Now back inside with you.
All right, Chrissy, thank you. California issues a statewide flex alert asking people to conserve energy all the way through Wednesday. SDG&E Communications Manager Denice joining us now to explain. Good morning.
Good morning, Shelly. How are you?
I'm doing well. I saw all the emails. I saw the alerts going up. I was reading them, trying to communicate the information to my own family. There was a period of time that I kept noticing in the alerts. It seems like it starts a little bit later into the day until 10 p.m. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. So in the mornings and in the afternoons, it seems to be a little bit cooler. So they're trying to do the flex alerts a little bit later in the afternoon. So hopefully not being that detrimental to the rest of the community, and making sure that in the afternoons when it's a little bit warmer, then we are going to have to do a little bit of these rolling outages.
When you talk about rolling outages, are these planned? Will people know that their electricity will be turned off so they have a moment to get ready for it?
Yes, if you go to sdgne.com on the news center, we have all of the outages that are listed. So what you want to do is to make sure that you go onto your bill there, and you will see a number on the left-hand side of the bottom of that, and that will correspond with the list that's on our news center site, and therefore people can get an idea of the rolling blackouts, or rather the rotating outages for that particular day.
I just sent a text to my family at home, and I said, please make sure that we turned off the air conditioning when I got the alert yesterday. So let's do what we can to help. But Denice, it's really hot.
You know, and I've been listening to Chrissy all morning, right? And listening to Heather Lake out there, you know, doing her live shots and talking about it as well. And it is hot, and we realize that. So all we're asking people to do is to conserve as much as they possibly can. So if you don't have to wash your clothes during the day, don't wash your clothes during the day. If you don't have to use the dryer, if you don't have to use the dishwasher, if you happen to have a pool and you don't need to run the pump, anything that obviously is going to drain energy, we don't want to use it. So again, if you can stand to turn your AC off, then go for it. Otherwise, we do try to ask you to at least try to set it to 78 degrees, because every little bit helps right now.
Yeah, especially at a time that there's so many people, they're working from home, people are staying home, and you don't have all these options to go to your office and stay cool and whatnot. So you're saying just do what you can. Every little bit, if everybody does a little bit, then it'll be good.
Absolutely. I mean, we're in this pandemic, right? And we're all working from home right now. So we can only imagine that the grid is getting hit a little bit harder. And then on top of that, we have this excessive heat. It's pretty tough. So yes, they are asking that every single person do every little thing that you can, like walk around your house and go ahead and see if you can unplug some of those things that you're not using right now. That even helps.
I remember a few years ago, I went and picked Raul up in the middle of the night because there was an outage, and the gas stations, like, you don't think about how many things are affected. So when I started to see the alerts came out, we went and pumped gas in the cars, and we started to prepare that just in case this is going to happen. Last time it was for almost a day when we had one of those big outages. If the electricity does go out, how long will it take you guys to be able to turn that back on?
Well, we take our orders directly from, as you said, the California Independent System Operator. So we will wait for them to give us the mandate as to how much longer these rotating outages are going to take place. So they're the ones that are kind of making that decision. They're the ones that tell us what to do. And then from there, we do the best that we can to make sure that the public is safe, make sure that their electricity is not off for too long. But again, right now, as you said, we're going to have this through Wednesday, I believe. If for some reason they mandated that it goes a little bit longer than that, then we have to go a little bit longer than that.
Can you just explain to those who are trying to get a mental picture of what is happening when everybody starts turning on their electricity? The grid just goes in like overload?
Not necessarily that it goes into overload, but they are able to calculate what's being used, how many megawatts are being used at a specific time, and that's how they make a decision as to how long the rotating outages are going to have to take place. So again, if all of us are turning our AC on as soon as we all get up and we're all starting to work all at the same time, turning on our computers, turning on our lights, you can only imagine, right? So again, if we don't have to do the laundry, if we don't have to use the dishwasher, things like that, Those are the things that we can do. Obviously, we need AC on when it is super hot, but whenever we can turn it off and use a fan instead, that's really the best course of action right
Right,
now.
right. And then it gets hot. And then I automatically start to equate this with wildfire season. I mean, they say wildfire season is all year in California, but it's definitely here. So you guys are hosting a drive-through wildfire safety fair. Tell us about that.
Well, we've already had two, one in Julian and the other one in Alpine, and they turned out amazing. We had more than 400 cars roll through. I'm sure you're seeing some video there that we shot for you guys. And it's such a great event because what we're doing is asking people to stay inside their cars, making sure that they wear masks, we wear masks. And then as you can see, we also have the safety kit backpacks. So within the safety kit backpacks that we give out are like these cellular chargers. So we definitely want people to have their cellular, so, because you always want to be able to charge your cell phone. This is an example of one of those safety kit backpacks that you'll get when you drive through. The next one's going to be at the Bates Nut Farm, and that's going to be there in Valley Center.
Okay, so let's get this information up for people who would like to take part of this. Saturday, August 22nd, and then there is another one you have at Mountain Empire High School on September 12th, and then another one at Viejas Casino on September 26th.
Yes, and they all start at 10, and they run from 10 to noon.
Okay.
We usually try to get out of there by noon because it's so hot during the day. So I'm out there, our whole crew is out there. We have our meteorology team. We have all different kinds of people passing out information. And again, passing out the safety kit backpacks and, kind of has like the crank radio and, like I said, the cell phone charger, things like that, things that you absolutely should have in your safety kit backpack. And as you said, wildfire season, unfortunately, on top of everything else that we're dealing with right now, is something that we have to think about.
Before we let you go, because I learn with every blackout, I'm like, oh, this time from a few years ago, I'm like, go pump gas in the car and make sure that the car is okay. I now have an electric car. And I now am thinking, and I tried to charge my car up thinking, oh my goodness, if I have to go to work and it's not fully charged, what are we going to do? So what about all these people that are now driving the electric cars?
Well, it's such good advice, right? Like I have an EV myself. So of course we both know how far we drive and how much we actually need in our car. So I mean, I think it's smart to go ahead and make sure we're filled up, so to speak, as much as we need, but just don't keep it plugged in so that it's constantly pulling that electricity. We know when we can unplug it. We know exactly how much we need in our cars to get to and fro from where we're going. So again, we're not saying let's put everything on empty. We certainly want our cars to be charged. But just make sure that we're doing it as smart as possible right now.
All right, lots and lots of good advice. We can all, every little bit, that's what I'm taking away from this, Denice.
every little bit, unplug, do whatever you can. I mean, we don't want these rolling blackouts to continue.
I'm like, unplug the TV, no video games. Thank you, Denice. For more information on the drive-through wildfire safety fairs, head to foxeyesandiego.com, click the Scene On tab. Happening today, a historic moment for San Diego State as officials break ground on the new Mission Valley Stadium site. Ceremonial shovels are set to dig in at 10:30 this morning. Construction could take up to 10 years. Escrow closed last week on the 135-acre property. Plans for the land include a new stadium, classrooms, housing, and public river park. A number of local colleges and universities are starting their fall term today. Most are holding virtual classes except for limited hands-on courses like science labs. Earlier this month, the state issued a 34-page guideline calling for a number of safety changes before schools can reopen their campuses. Coming up, one local city cracking down on face masks. The punishment you could face if you're caught without one. Plus, firefighters get a big surprise on the front lines. What happened when a bull charged right at crews? And then